In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Kryptonite Show. I think my hair looks different every single day I do this live stream. I don't know. Is this the way life is? Is it just a little disheveled? Maybe it's because Bitcoin is thunderously, and I say thunderously, rising through to the moon. I don't know, through the clouds, through the mist. It's pretty amazing. So everything is game on, and I think people can see it now. They can really see it. It is going to be absolutely awesome. Yeah, property view and nice and early. Crypto is pumping. It is absolutely doing well. And we're going to be talking about one of the rising giants on Pulsechain today, Sun Minimeal. It's going to be pretty epic. Now, there are a few questions to be had, of course, about Sun and Minimeal, but man, we have got so many bullish things coming. It's going to be pretty interesting to see where it all heads. Brendan said, send it. Send the rocket. That's it. I think I had a rocket in the title of the video, to be honest. I think I did. I think I had a rocket in the title of the video. Now, we've got a big interview coming up this week. Woo! Love. Do you like love? Do you like love? Yeah, it's not the love doctor, but we're going to be interviewing Anders, the founder there of Love.io. Also a pretty big project on Pulsechain ecosystem, of course. And yeah, so that's coming up on I think Wednesday. I think it's 21st. Yeah, 21st. So that's going to be pretty exciting. So we've got a big lineup, and look, we've probably got another big interview towards the end of the week as well. We're going to keep them rolling. So yeah, we're doing about 2 a week, I think, at the moment. Been pretty good. What we had? We had Crypto Coffee on. We had XUSD with Katie and the team. We had Nikki on there. Yeah, Anders, and yeah, we got more coming. We had the dude and crypto graphics from the Titan X ecosystem with some awesome stuff those guys are doing. Absolutely amazing things. And this week we got the Love Connection. Love Connection. Do you guys remember that TV show? I don't know. And then of course we got potentially another big one coming up. So we'll keep you tuned to that. And I've actually received an invite for something as well. So probably be jumping on that too. Make crypto great again. Well, let's look like what is happening. That looks like what is happening. That's a bit of a twister. But that is exciting. Man, are you guys excited? I mean, we're really entering this banana phase, and we'll probably play the banana video today, just the way it goes. So not bad. But without any further ado, let's make sure that we're reposting the show out on X. So definitely do that. I'm going to repost it myself, and I'm going to post the link in the chat there. That's really cool. Really helps a lot with the algorithm. So share show on X, and that is the link. So if you just take a moment and do that, I really much appreciate it. Smash the share on that and hit the likes. Even leave a comment if you want to. But that is the link on X. And if you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to share it as well. There's a share repost button on X. On YouTube. So definitely do that as well. We're on 3 channels. We're on Kryptonite Show, Superman Crypto, and of course Pulsechain X. So three Pulsechain channels pretty much, and crypto. So definitely get out and help with that. That's pretty cool. Property View says he's dropping a little bit of alpha here. The Love Connection with Chuck Woolery, 1983 to 1994. How about that? So boy, that's yesterday we were talking about movies. Today we're talking about the Love Connection shows, and of course that was back when dating was more normal, right? When dating was done more normally. Don't know how they do it today. They do it on the phone. I'm going to have a date with you, meet up at this time, and we're going to text each other, or I don't know, video. I don't know how it's done, but that's just the way it goes. What else there? Well, we're going to get into straight to the show, but let me just pick something up here. Just trying to do a couple of things at once. Bring out my feminine side, as they say, multitasking. But that's coming up there too. All right, without further ado, let's get into it. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the follow button. We're going to be covering some really cool stuff around the markets for the weekly roundup, I guess. It's going to be a lot of fun to do that. So let's do it. Before we do that, we've got a couple of people in the house there. Brennan says, Love Shack, baby. Love Shack. That's that song, right? Yeah. And we've got Craig Pitt as well. Great morning. Absolutely great morning. And we're still the Sunday in the United States. It's Monday here in New Zealand, 12:20 p.m. And you're talking to one of the last Kiwis, I think, in existence. So there we go. This is a special moment. Special take one moment there to reflect on that. And of course, greetings. I hope all are doing well. This is Valiant. All are doing well. Me too. All right, so I hope we're doing well. Let's jump into it and get into the mix there. So that is us on Infinity TV on X. So definitely give us a follow as well. And exciting times, yeah, pretty awesome. Actually, we got Crypto MBS there as well. So definitely smash that. Actually, I'll just have to undo that post because I think I've got my own one. Let me just have a look at my own post here and repost that. Yeah, so that is kind of cool. So repost that. Either one is fine. And get out and share the word. That'd be really, really cool. All right. I think that's it. So let's jump into the profile and definitely show a lot of love there. Now, what I want to talk about is the markets first. So we're going to pulse this over here because that's a little bit out of order, but we're going to get into the markets first because this is exciting times ahead. Valiant says, greetings. I hope all are doing well. Me too. Yeah, I'm just warming up here. It's we just come off the weekend, so it's sort of a bit disheveled and stuff. But hey, let's get into it. We got Bitcoin at the moment. Is rallying the market, and we got the total market cap at $3.48 trillion, up 0.8%. Just the beginning. It's just a little bit of green, but it's very, very positive for the week ahead. We've got the Bitcoin price at the moment, $106,403, up 3.2%. And that's a pretty decent move, 106,400. So you guys know we got up to 109. So we're going to talk about that as well. Ethereum at the moment is flat today at $2,482. Number 4 is XRP. It is up 2.9% at $2.43. BNB at number 5 is up 1.8%, $651. Solana is up 3.8%, and that is $172. And then we've also got at number 8 is Dogecoin, up 7.8%. So that's a big move in the last 24 hours with Doge, and that is 23.25 cents there. Cardano or ADA is up 1.9% at 75 cents there. And number 10 is down 1.1%. Tron is at 26.7 cents on the old Tron there. That is the current 24 hours. It is a lazy Sunday. You guys know Sunday's typically not so hot, but it seems to be picking up as we're entering, ending Sunday in the US and moving into Monday for the week. So obviously we called the show the weekly crypto and Pulsechain markets update. Well, for the week there, we've got Bitcoin up 2.2%, not bad. We've got XRP up 2.5%. So those are the two best in the top 10 there at the moment. Now, moving to the top 100, what is the best performance top 100 here on CoinGecko? We got Dog with Hat. What the heck? Dog with Hat is up 14.4%. You guys know, as soon as we start getting a bit of a rally, some of the big branded memes are going to start running. So, you can consider having some of those in your portfolio because they can do pretty insane numbers. Even though they're still pretty high, because Dog with Hat's ranked number 98 on the top 100 at the moment. But you guys know that could quickly start moving higher and higher and higher, given that it's one of the big brand, sort of brand tokens there for memes. 14.4% moment. Radium, I should say, or Ray token is up 9.6% for the week, but most of that's in the last 24 hours. Hyperliquid, which has been a very popular platform, is up 8.8% today. For the week. So it's doing pretty well. Story IP. It's currently number 81. That's up 7.3%. And Bidget token, BGB, is up 6%. So those are the top 5 at the moment. Some honorable mentions below is Aave, Leo token, Virtuals, Tokenized Exchange, and Qcoin there to wrap out our top 10, I think. So that is the top 100. And in terms of top gainers here for the default view for CoinGecko, we've got Collateralize at 80%, Maple up 37%, and Moonding is up 42% there. On trending, we've got Virtuals Protocol, Kita, and Proppy. Now, because we're covering this every day, you kind of see the ones that just keep ticking over, right? Keep popping up all the time. So we definitely see some similar ones there. Moonding, of course, recently, and Virtuals Protocol, definitely something we've seen pop up quite a bit. So that is where we are with the total markets cap, 3.48 trillion. Like I said, crypto is still a very small market worldwide. The biggest markets are actually derivatives, and they're obviously trillions of dollars, maybe quintillion dollar. I don't know. Maybe there's a quintillion dollar market for derivatives, but it's pretty damn large, trillions at least. So that is pretty huge. I think it is a quintillion, over quintillion, maybe even 2 quintillion market cap for derivatives. I don't know. It's been a long time since I looked at that, but good question. If anyone knows how big the derivatives market are, I think it's got to be a quintillion or something. Was it billions, trillions, quintillions? I think that's right. Yeah. We got Valiant House there. Spend the day with hands in the soil. Let's go, says Valiant, 100%. All right, so let's move on and let's get into Bitcoin. And here we are on the Bitcoin. This is on Coinbase. Yeah, Coinbase chart. And we are following the strategy. It has played out very well, hasn't it? It has played very well. Why? Because we took a moment to understand what the Trump administration was doing, right? That's what we went and did. We went and had a look at the Treasury Secretary who was driving it, along with a couple of advisors in the White House. And that's the secret sauce, right? You ignore mainstream media, which is completely Democrat run, completely fake, completely, destroying everybody. And we actually just went and had a look. What are they actually doing? And we found that they had a three-legged stool strategy. And of course, that is the trade deal announcements, reorganizing the World Trade Order. And of course, balancing out China's influence. And of course, so we saw a big blocking move there with the Middle East deals, very smart move. And we got a lot of cool things happening there. That's the first real world trade reordering, probably in 80 years, but probably since the 80s. For more like 40 years. That's kind of where we are. It's a big deal. And of course, 115 countries lining up. There'll probably be deals after deals after deals coming up in the next few weeks. That's going to fuel the stock market and crypto market big time. And that's a big deal. Now, the other big thing we've got is the big tax bill. Now, we saw that get pushed back by the Freedom Caucus in the United States. So that's a group of what they call fiscal hawks, people that don't want to spend, bring down government spending to more efficient levels. And so we saw them doing things about getting people to work on, I think it was Medicaid, I think it was. So we have a little bit of that sort of stuff going on. There's probably four to six holdouts there, but they are staying late over the weekend. Despite not pushing the bill, approving the bill through. Remember, they only need 51 votes. They're going to be staying through the weekend, so through Sunday night there to get this over the line for Monday. So that's kind of where we are. There were 15 committees, I think it was, that worked on this, and they're wanting to get that pushed through next week to, I guess, the next stage of getting a bill approved. So a little bit of work done there. I'm sure they're going to get it done. It's such a mega thing. It's just such a huge thing. Just think, if you had your top three things, it really is on there. And so they want to get this done by, was it Inauguration Day or something? I think it's what the news, 26th of May, I think it is. They want to get this done. So, that's ticking away, right? It's not too far away, right? So they want to get this tax bill done. And of course, that would get us up to the 26th of May. And that is 8 days away, right? So they really got to push it. And of course, they want all this done by the 4th of July, right? They want to get it to the president's desk and signed. And this is huge, right? This, I cannot say, the big tax bill, big deal, along with the big, world trade reorganizations. And then, of course, deregulation leverage is a big play as well. And we're going to see lots of that happen. That's probably, already in progress, but it's going to be accelerating this year, particularly around the leverage. And that's small to medium banks, right? But in any case, the bullish news in front of us is the big tax bill and all the big trade deals to be announced, right? So far we've only had the UK and the Middle East, but we're probably going to get a lot of big ones from China, Japan, India, more from China. We had the China one, in principle stuff. That's going to take 90 days extension, right? And then we've got South and others like that. So it's just going to be full of good news, and the heavyweights come out first. Now, the other big thing, of course, is that we have got deregulation. That's also going to happen. And then we've got crypto policy, like stuff that's specific to crypto policy. That's going to run through. There's a big paper being done all the way through to September. And then that comes out, and hopefully we'll get even more bullish stuff around crypto. And I think the crypto stuff's going to be like slowly fed out. So we're going to have little milestones happening into probably early 2026 for crypto policy. But expect more from that. And, of course, a lot more investment. We're going to hear more news around probably the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve and the altcoin stockpile, stuff like that. And the other big stuff we're going to hear is not from the U.S. administration, but from U.S. states. So, they're all scrambling to get their ability to put state funds into sovereign funds or retirement funds or whatever they've got there into crypto, which could end up at the current price. That could be another 200,000 Bitcoin purchasing power, right? Which is massive, right? So that's kind of where we are. So yeah, full of good news, and it's so far the chart is playing out. We're still in a golden cross. We talked about that yesterday in our sort of technical analysis beginners course there yesterday. If you haven't checked that, check it out on that yesterday. And of course, we're now pushing through to new highs, right? So we had our high, all-time high for Bitcoin back on the 20th of January earlier this year, and that was 109,358 here on Coinbase. And we're looking to break that now. And look, we're going to probably get a lot of bullish news leading in for the week. So very excited about that, including the big tax bill proceeding forward. Right, had a little bit of hiccup, but I think that's there's only 4 or 5 holdouts. I'm sure they can get them over the line there with maybe pulling forward the work aspect. I think it was Medicaid. I think it was Medicaid. I think it was. So they're going to pull that forward maybe over 2 years. I think that's what they should do. Probably do an average. The reason why it was so late was argued from Speaker Johnson was that that the states had a process and had to set up the systems to adjust for it. But maybe they'll half it and make it 2 years and force the states to act faster, right? So that's kind of where we are on that. So yeah, looking pretty bullish. As you guys know, Trump's got to have a strategy in place by the 4th of July, and includes trade deals, the big ones at least, the big tax bill, and maybe some news around the deregulation leverage as well, possibly in that time frame. So we are ticking there. We're getting there, folks. And man, the chart's looking juicy, isn't it? The golden cross is still going. It looks like we're going up for that next parabola, and we've got plenty of news to feed it. We've got 50 days to go. We've got 45 days to go to the 4th of July. It's going to be pretty fun. The 9th of July, I just had that there because I think there might be a big party, the Golden Age of America party from Trump. We'll see whether it's the 4th of July or the 9th there. So that's kind of where we are on the markets. Pretty good, eh? Pretty good. So everything is going just as we researched, right? That's the thing. If we listened to mainstream media, we would have been clueless. In fact, we would have been in delusion. What else there? What is going on? We got a couple other comments. We got Brian and Housey? He's on road trip at the moment. In fact, I think he's maybe have reached his base point. So big shout out to Brian out there. So folks, hope you and your brother and everyone's doing well. Was it Biddy Coin climbing the stairs to greatness? Absolutely. So yeah, we're really pushing through. Once we break through this 109, going to 130 to 150, right? That's kind of the target there for the old Bitcoin. I think naturally that's where we're heading. And then of course we are pretty bullish about this year, getting 150 to 250 this year with an upside possibility of 400. Definitely possible, but definitely moving into 2026. I guess we can start pulling in even higher numbers with the Trump Golden Age of America and more money printing from the Fed, right? And we'll probably get an interest rate cut. That interest rate cut might, something's going to be the catalyst for a true altcoin move, where we see a true altcoin season. Maybe it's the interest rate cut, from 4.5. That kind of seems likely, and they're definitely getting, inflation's definitely had downward pressure. Trump's obviously moved all down by about $20. He's been cutting, going to be cutting a lot of costs across the board, like medicines and things like that. The stuff that should have been done decades ago, folks. But it's just the way it goes. We got Ores in the house there. Hey, good to see Ores. Big shout out. Loving the fire. Loving the fight there. I like the profile pic too, by the way. Looking kind of cool. All right, so let's jump into Pulsechain, shall we? We're going to be getting into the details of that. The details. This is the weekly review. I think we've got weekly data too, so we're going to do the weekly data as well. So this is the last 24 hours. So we've got day 738 since Pulsechain launched on the 30th of May, 2023. 738 days later, here we are. And Pulse actually up 3.6%, so making a little bit of a move at quadruple 0404. So we're back over 4,000. That's important. We're at 40% of the mean sacrifice price. PulseX is at quadruple 0382, up 5.13%. And the buy and burn is now 7.13% of all PulseX has been bought up and burned, not owned by the OA. And, some of these numbers can be a bit laggy, but seem to be ticking away okay there. And incentive token there, $1.84 is up 4%. And look at that, isn't it? We were down at $1.16. Remember that? We were down at $1.16. Now we're at $1.84. The incentive supply around 55 million or so. I have to go and check the Block Explorer, but I don't think it's moving much because we only got inflation at about 2,600 INC tokens a day. That's nothing on 55 million based on those numbers. Hex at the moment is at 9/10 of a penny, almost 91/100th, up 4.14%. Hex is the second best performer at the moment, and EHEX is at 28/100th of a penny. Combined price of EHEX and PHEX is, if I round it, is at 1.2 cents. So you guys know, once that starts running, once Hex, particularly PHEX, gets over 3.1 cents, it's going to probably start running away, and you won't be able to catch it, and you go, and if you didn't buy it, you go, as Richard would say, you're crying about it. But hey, look, you've got your opportunity still. We're still in that accumulation zone, and so do what you can. That's all you can do. You can only do what you can, can't you? You can go out onto the street and sell lemon juice, and then reinvest it in Hex for the big gains ahead. That's pretty much it. All right. It's funny I say that because I saw a couple of kids doing it the other day, and I thought, how cute is that? I haven't seen that for a long time. They were selling, I think, orange juice or lemon juice or something. They had the little table set up. They had little jug and the squeezer thing, and that was pretty funny. But it's cute. It's cute. And I'm sure they must have made some merchandise. But the entrepreneurial spirit there was pretty good, and it reminds me of back when I was a kid. So there we go. I must have done it at some stage. We must have maybe 2 days. I don't know. 2 days. Anyway, the last week. Let's have a look at the last week. We got Pulse at the moment is at quadruple 0404. Of course, it's up 13.5% for the week. So it's not bad. That's a pretty decent little move there for the week. Pulsex is up 19.7%. And as you guys know, that's been trending up against Pulse. In fact, we're going to look at that later, I think. We'll do that. We've got incentive tokens up 14.7% for the week, and Hex is up 11.3%. So Pulsex has been the real mover, and we've been talking about that on the channel, right, as being something to look out for. Pretty cool. All right, let's go up into the gas prices at the moment. We've got 1.2 million beats, so pretty cheap to do a Pulsex swap at the moment, only 2 cents. And the validators there, we saw that rise. So I think we were up at 48,000, and we got a 3,000 taken off by some big validator. I'm not sure what the backstory was behind that, but we went down to 45,000, and now we're back up to 46,000. So we've had another 1,000 there. And if you're going to become a solo validator, for example, you need 32 million pulse, and you might as well get it now while it's still, at the 4,000 mark on the price. But yeah, APR about 10%. But there are more exotic ways of doing validating, right? There's NFTs, there's Validator X. I think there's at least maybe 3 or 4, maybe more, 3 or 4 options there. I've been meaning to do a video on it, but haven't got around to it, unfortunately. But I need to do it. Probably do it earlier than later. Now we're all looking to get back over $100 million on the old bridge. We've been fighting around this 96 to 98 mark in the last couple of days. We're at $97.5 million. And we got EHEX there pushing us up a little bit higher. We got DAI sitting at 22.1 million, so it's not too bad. We did get as low as about 20 million, remember? So we're up over 2 million on the DAI. Very important milestone. And of course, that Ether is the price is rising, Bitcoin's rising. Coast has managed to slowly increment a couple of days ago, went from 9.6 to 9.8 million, and so forth. And of course, today we're talking about Sun Minimeal, which is going to be bringing on another 4 on-ramps, right? So it's a pretty big deal, Sun and Minimeal. And they've also got a lot of other stuff. We're going to talk about that. So that's kind of where we are on the bridge. And, we've got native stables too. The problem I have with native stables, although I think they all contribute big time, USDL is 4.5 million. Obviously, supply sync for Pulse, PXDC is one for PulseX, and HexDC, they're one for Hex. And of course, we've got the ink printer out there for Ink Token, right, from Faz Abdul. And they do definitely contribute to the stablecoin value. But a lot of it gets staked on the platform, so it's not really circulating. So circulating and scalability is an issue for these liquidity forks and the fiat-backed ones to some degree. Fiat's obviously a lot better because it just mostly floats around. But PUSD ALGO, we're looking forward to that launching in the future. And it does appear that Signum Oracle is almost over the line. They've definitely fixed the bug, and they're doing the testing. So hopefully that's very, very close. Fingers crossed. Stu's doing a big effort. The founder, the dev, doing a big effort on that, and I'm sure it's almost over the line. So hopefully we'll have that big news to come up and talk about the Signum Oracle, the second Oracle on Pulsechain after Fetch Oracle launched by Liquid Loans. And of course, it's going to be a requirement for PUSD ALGO because presumably they've got tokens for Signum, so they're probably going to be using that one. And moving forward. And then we'll get an update from PUSD ALGO, and I'm looking to see that operate, right? So that's going to be using miner bots. So excited about that. You can get 90% bonus. Links in the video description if you want to participate in that. And of course, if you do $1,000 contribution, you get a bit of a bonus. I think it's 840 plus the referral bonus of 19%, and you'll get your 1,000. And you get the second bonus X, and that could get you a random number to between 1.01 and 2x there. So check that out. That is PUSD ALGO coming from Jacob out there. All right, so let's jump into the statistics. for the chain. We got $20.6 million in volume. So I think we're down about 2 million on Saturday, maybe $1.5 million, probably about $1.5 million less than Saturday. This like Sunday US time, late Sunday afternoon, evening. Let's head. Actually, what time is it? It is currently New York is 8:45 in the evening on the East Coast, I guess, and Los Angeles is currently 5:45, so it's almost dinner time, I guess, in good old LA there, the big city, and I wonder how they're recovering from the fires there out there. I haven't seen much of that on TV. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? So yeah, but we got some big movers at the moment. We've had some new coins, Nobby, that is up 8 hours. It's been around. It's up 183%, down 69% in the last 6 hours. So we'll have a quick look at that. Now, obviously, I'm not endorsing any of these new tokens. They pop up all the time. This one's called Nob. The King has returned. I just bet the ECC. And what's the liquidity there? 22K, 369K volumes, a lot of volume there. And it's got a little backstory. Clio, AK, it's got a lot of weird stuff on there. So anyway, that is it. You can check it out. Let's jump over to this other one that's been around 14 hours. Count Secular. I don't know where these ones are coming from, but welcome to crypto. That's all I can say. Let's have a look at the hourly chart on this, and that is ticking away there. It's got 15K liquidity, 41K volume, and it's got a little backstory to it. Count Secular there. So there we go. You can check it out yourself. You can check it out. But those are the two there. But hey, the one we're going to be talking about the most here is Sun Minimeal. It is up 21.7%, a rising giant on Pulsechain. The market cap 485 million. Now there is, people have been talking about the holder account on it. Who's holding these tokens. So I mean, that's definitely an issue that people can discuss and talk about. I am not going to be talking about that particularly today, but the chart at the moment, which is absolutely rocketing. You can see that is at 9.7 cents and has really picked up in volume. Pretty powerful stuff, right? So we've had $250,000 in volume. We went over 1 million liquidity, so we're now got 1.1 million liquidity in there, which is pretty good. And the market cap is moving up 485 million there in the market cap, up at 21.7%. Now we've only had 97 makers in the last 24 hours. So makers there, those are unique wallets that bought or sold up here. But we've definitely been getting a lot more buys. So the 24 hours, 630 buys, 81 sells, and we've had 146K buy volume, over 102,000 sell. In the last 24 hours, last 6 hours, 20K over 9.9K. So this is heading towards 10 cents, basically, isn't it? So it is game on for this. Now, looking at the 4 hourly, let's see how much room we've got on this, because this has definitely got. We talked about the RSI yesterday, right? That's the one thing I think that if you're coming into buying and selling that you want to know about, and the RSI has definitely got hot on the last 4 hours. It was on a 76, so we'll see. 10 cents is probably going to be a lot of resistance there. Given the RSI is hot here at the moment. But we're going to get some of the updates from Sun Minimeal. Now, let's go into, I did a post on it yesterday. Had some pretty good coverage on that post, actually. And let's quickly go down to that. So the post was down here. So I did a post here, and we got some good views on that. So hot sold Sun Minimeal, rising giant and Pulsechain. Now, this is where it was yesterday when I posted. It was at 8.6 cents. So now it's 9.7, almost at 10 cents. So that was where it was, and it's climbing pretty fast, as you can see. And corporate sales. So I've got corporate sales, buy and burn. So those corporate sales, buy and burn, have not even started yet. So let's go into that picture, and we can see that. So it's pretty big. I'm going to actually scale it up a little bit, and we'll get rid of my little tweet searcher there. And let's go one more move. Corporate sales and buy and burn. So this is going to have corporate sales. So potentially they're earning tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. I haven't seen a confirmed figure. I've seen some numbers, but not a confirmed figure for corporate sales. But these guys are planning to grow out of Europe. They're basically a superfood, right? You have low calories and you get all the nutrients that you need. So it's a pretty big deal. And so they got corporate sales here, and they have 20%, I think it is, of the sales amount or revenue amount, basically. So that's huge, and that could be all coming under buy onto the token, the SOIL token, SOIL. And of course, they're also going to be bringing on 4 Pulsechain on ramps. The first of which is Banksa. It had a few technical issues just to get over the line, but they're also working with Hex Scout and so 2 big, trusted, well-known brands on Pulsechain. Obviously, Pateas is the biggest DEX aggregator. Hex Scout is the number one, pretty much we call it portfolio management for hex mining. So that, pretty credible stuff there. And yeah, boom. Now they're also going to have 3 other on ramps as well. So and one of them is already operating apparently. So kind of cool. Now on the buy and burn, the corporate buy and burn, Sun Minimeal replied to this post and said the amazing news is the buy and burn didn't even start yet. How about that? That's from corporate sales. Hasn't even started yet. This is all the community, but they got a new tool today. And the new tool today, of course, is the buy feature, right? So this is huge, the buy feature. And yeah, pretty amazing stuff. So let me just get rid of that. So yeah, the buy feature here, and you can, my profile, orders, buy, support, login, and this is on via Ramp now, right? So Ramp now is the second on ramp, and of course this is up and running now. So this is definitely coming on. So yeah, we're waiting for Banksa, and we know we've got a Ramp now as well. So these are 2 of the 4 that are coming this year. We're expecting another one maybe by the end of May, and then we're expecting another one coming on in the 3rd quarter. And this just complements, the Coast on-ramp for Fiat and, of course, the official Pulsechain on-ramp as well. So a pretty big deal, right? Pretty big deal there. So, yeah, but they got a new tool today, so exciting. And we also know that the Sol customers are going to have wallets, right? They're going to have crypto wallets that are being specially made for the Sun customers. So this is a superfood. It's kind of like the Holy Grail, and they're going to go from not only being in Europe, but they're going to expand globally in the United States and elsewhere. So a pretty big deal, right? Pretty big deal. I said I like it a lot. I like it there a lot there. So that's pretty cool from the team. All right, so that is coming out there. But what I wanted to point out was they also had a post here on Sun and Minimeal. I think it was updated, so 10 hours ago. And I want to talk about that. So let's this one here. So they put this out. Did you try sunminimeal.com to buy yet? Below is a visualization of all the buys processed by our partner official ramp now since yesterday's night. So obviously this is the new on ramp to Pulsechain, and it's exciting. So they've just started up, and got a smaller following obviously than Banksa. Banksa is quite established, and of course this is ramp now. They're going to obviously ramp up a lot. So this is pretty bullish, right, from this team. Now they let me just go back here. So yeah, it provides direct access to Pulsechain within minutes with fees as low as 1.99% plus 40 cents for SEPA and SEPA Instant. Disclaimer: the US is not yet supported, so I guess it's mostly coming out of Europe. Is probably the case, or at least non-US perhaps. But you'll have to check that out. So yeah, more onboarding options. Pulsechain to the moon. So people pretty happy about all that. Sun Minimeal buy works very well. Great job. Sun Minimeal soil is growing. Maybe with the VPN in Germany, Euro, US can buy too. There we are, trying to beat the system there. Until €80, no KYC is needed. So £80. So €80, yeah, £80. No KYC is needed. So you can do a lot of smaller transactions without KYC on there. That particular on ramp, kind of cool. This is the way people are reaching out to the influencers to talk about it. Kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. So that is some of the cool stuff there, and you can see the buys coming in from that account, and not bad. I wish they had put the account there, but look at those buys coming in, pushing it up. Not bad. All right, so that is the Sol Sunny Minimeal. It has been pushing higher, and I guess you can can have a look at the transactions at the bottom, and you can see some sales going on here. I note the 65 account seems to bought 21,600 and sold 21,600. I don't know what's going on there. So there are a lot of large holders with this account. So people have questions about that. You can check those out online. So there are a lot of large holders. But hey, look, it's going to be a lot of projects out there with large holders. So yeah, we'll just see how this goes. Now, obviously, this is relatively new. So yeah, we're going to be seeing how it goes. But yeah, that's kind of some of the cool stuff happening, and you can check all the chain analysis, all the buys and sales going on there through the house there. We've got this wallet here, 96. It's been buying lots of stuff, and I guess maybe that's the wallet that they're talking about, perhaps. But this is only just started buying this the last 2 days. Let's go to the last hourly chart here. We can see it's been buying just all the way on the up here. You can't see it very well because I've got so much stuff on there, but let's go to auto here. And maybe we'll get rid of the RSI and pull this down. So that is looking pretty good. This wallet's been obviously buying quite a bit there. So yeah, some pretty cool news. And you can see this other wallet, whatever one is, I have to go through and check what that is. But that is buying lots as well. So not bad. That is on ramp now is alive, and of course the other one where is the first one is the Bankser. We're looking forward to as well, and that is potentially a much larger. Arguably, we'll see how they go, but not bad. We've even had top Pulsechain influencer Crypto Coffee talking about it as well, and giving a big shout out there by Sun Minimeal. Thank you very much for your kind words. We're building on Pulsechain and do our part to help grow. So this is a pretty big deal. Obviously, the token mission there, Race for the Soil, they got their big mission as well. And we've talked a lot about this on the channel. So exciting times ahead. Soil is more than the tokens. With Sun Rewards program, you get rewarded. Simply recommend Sun and Minimeals. Of course, live healthier and more sustainably. Pretty cool. So not bad there on that one. HexScout, of course, is a big supporter. Most in-depth deep dive into sun and soil topic currently to be found. And, of course, that was from HexScout themselves. And you can find the details there as well. Not bad, eh? Not bad. So, very, very exciting stuff happening with the old Sun and Minimeal. I think we read through the time it came out. So coming up. Yeah, the next one coming up in May, Sun AG will launch its own on-ramp in partnership with Floin.com. So that's the next one coming up that we were talking about in May. And then they're expecting another one, as I understand it, by the third quarter of this year, I think. So, bring it on. So we've got corporates, a rising star, and I'm not aware of any other corporate that's significant that's on Pulsechain. But this is huge. This is kind of cool. We're going to wish in the journey. And how high will the price go? Now, almost 10 cents. RSI getting hot in the 4 hour. Could this, will this be several dollars soon? This is the question you ask yourself. There are a lot of holders, the only thing I would say. So, it just depends on what they do, how much access they got to their coins and things like that. But certainly a big day today, right? Big day today, as you can see in that candle. Pretty exciting. So let me just get rid of that. And that is the candle today. And let me auto log that. Bam, there we go. So not bad. Not bad. Is it the beginning of something good? We shall see. All right, so that is Sun Minimeal. I'll post the link to the chart there if you guys want to check out all the details. You can get to all the socials and all that through the website and Twitter and Telegram. Easily to do. Now, we've got some more people in the house, so let's say hello to some of them before we get on to the rest of the charts here on Pulsechain. We got Goo God in the house there. Big shout out for the king and the queen out there. And that is exciting. He's doing some great stuff there. So big shout out there to Goo God. You're going to hear more about Goo God, I guess, all the time because he's an amazing marketer. It's going to be fun. Pokadu in the house there. What's up, Suitman? Pulse will surprise people, just like Hex did. Agreed. Everyone's going to get freaked out. It's going to be crazy. I agree with that 100%. It is going to be legit. All right, bam, that deserves a magical twinkle. All right, so we're gonna go back to Pulsechain and have a look at some of the top performers. We've got obviously Saw. We got the Surf token that was out 10 days ago. We had quite a few people in the chat there jump in there. That's still up 90%, so it's actually managed to stay up there 2 cents, 2.2 cents almost. Chart's looking pretty similar to Sun Minimeal, isn't it? Kind of looks pretty similar there on the daily. That's been performing pretty well. Crypto Paradise. We did briefly cover it the other day. So meme utility token from Crypto Paradise. And that seems to be doing around DeFi liquidity webbing, deflationary tokenomics, and a passion for collaboration. Set to make a massive splash. Well, so far it's doing very well in the chart. As you can see, that's doing pretty well there, right? That's pretty good. So yeah, that's keep a lookout for that one, the old Surf. Now the other one, of course, we've got is Reserve Tay and Treasury Bill. These are both up 10%, 9%. X is up 8.7%. Now we're talking about DEXs. You guys know once we get on this big uptrend in crypto, DEXs are likely to all get repriced because they're catching all the volume, right? They're catching all the volume and fees as the market goes into its altcoin season kind of thing, mega banana run. And at 90 members up 8.5% at the moment at 2.3 cents. So let's have a quick look at that chart at the moment because it's kind of important to take perspective. So this is kind of where it is at the moment. It's kind of in this zone. So it's probably pretty safety little zone there to pick up. And as you guys know, we talked about the RSI yesterday. We can have a pull in the RSI there and see that actually it's not too bad, is it? Down at 42. So yeah, 50 is like halfway, right? 30 is oversold and 70 is overbought. And it's not looking too bad. That's on the weekly. On the daily, we're at the 50 on the daily, and we're on the 4 hourly. We're sitting, about 55 or something. So, it's not a bad little pick up at the moment, is it? Given where it's been. Market cap 2.2 million. So that's definitely going to re-rate, right, in the markets. Obviously with Pulse as well. Now that's the other thing, right? You always want to check how's this token going versus Pulse, right? How's it performing? Is it better than Pulse? If it's not better than Pulse, you should just hold Pulse, right? That's kind of the basic idea there. But that can turn, right? That can turn if the protocol has got something that's going to make it turn, right? Something a catalyst or a pumpamental, and in this case, it would be a bull rally and the volumes going up and the fees being earned, that sort of thing. So you can definitely check out 9mm on that one. Now, 567 pulse per 9mm at the moment, but that's going to be interesting. And of course, 9mm, as you guys know, is the second biggest DEX here. Now, this doesn't have Famous on there, which is I think they had about $11-12 million worth of that on their two protocols. So just taking that into account. But what else we got going? Mafia token from Jacob. We talked about PUSD ALGO. Well, he's obviously doing Mafia as well. That's up 7.7%. Remember that has a big vault, and it's got I think it's got probably the amount of vault would make it like number 180 on the sacrifice list of Pulsechain. So it's slowly rising. Be interesting to see how high it actually gets over time. So that is up 7.7% today at the moment. Pulsex, of course, is up 7.5%. Your mum is up 7% as well. They're doing pretty well. That's been around for 11 days and it's been performing. Let's have a quick look at your mum and see what that looks like as well. Yeah, look at that. It's right at the all-time high pretty much. And let's go to the daily on that one. There's the daily chart there on your mum. So, man, that's doing pretty good. The volume's pretty low, $500 and 115K liquidity. So definitely a retail play. But, no one's dumping it at the moment. Elon Musk, your mum. So that's doing pretty well on low volume. But let's see where it goes. What else? We got loan token there. Obviously, that's another big heavyweight. And, of course, that's from Liquid Loans, right? The liquidity fork. That is up 6.7%. And this is another one that should reasonably get re-rated, right, in the market when it gets when we get game on, right? So we can already see that we're kind of back at what was previously kind of support, I should say. And now that is kind of our resistance. And we kind of look like we're creeping over it, which means we might get a little bit of a nice little strong recovery here in the old Liquid Loans protocols, right? I'm not sure how much it's got on there. Let's go have a look. Actually, it's got 4.5 million. I think we did we say? I think it was 4.5 million. Let's go have a little look at the Liquid Loans. It's been a while. It's been a while, our old friend. Remember, this was the third biggest sacrifice project on Pulsechain after Pulse and Pulsex. About $52 million by my count. And so let's go to the statistics. I think we've got statistics here, something analytics. 586 billion pulse locked in the vaults, locked down $23.8 million worth. And what else there? We got staked USDL 4 million. This is where I said the protocol is really good because you can stake your USDL. These are the stable coins that you get from putting in Pulse and collateralizing them. You get stablecoin USDL, and it's 4 million in there, which is 88% of supply. So this is the thing the problem with the liquidity forks. It's great for if you're participating, you get the nice yield. The yield at the moment is around 2.6%, so it's pretty. It was much higher, but it's come down to more, stable coin type of levels. And is that you don't get the circulation. You get that probably on Coast to some degree because it's fiat backed. But with the liquid forks, and of course that's why I'm excited about PUSD ALGO. Well, let's see where that goes. And of course, we talked about XUSD the other day, the Vibratile version. It's not like collateral backed asset, but it's certainly going to be an interesting experiment that as well, based on its trading incentives and the Viber Pass and things like that. So we'll keep a lookout for that, and LP weaving, right? So that's kind of where we are at the moment on the old liquid loans. But we should reasonably expect these all to re-rate in value, and they're still buying them off the bottom almost, as you can see. So kind of interesting. Time dividend, of course, Intent Money Wallet, that's up 6.6%, doing pretty awesome, right? And this is they are crushing it on the downloads, especially since Rabby Wallet went down, right? They really re-rated. Let's have a nosy at their statistics because it's fun to be informed, right? Be informed. Put up your hand. You want to stay ignorant? We'll do it. So 75,000. Yeah, we're 60 away from 75,000 downloads. Up 1,563, and this is between the 15th of April and 1st of May. So we're going to get we haven't got an update yet. I'm surprised we haven't got an update for 15th of May. Maybe it's just the way the data collection works. I don't know. But maybe they've even got higher now. We shall see. Maybe they're well above this. So when we get another update, maybe they're up at 80,000 or something since Rabby Wallet went down. They may be even higher. Who knows? but that's pretty good. What's the revenue swap volume? Almost $15 million as well. That's just for what's period? 90 days, last 90 days. So do they have all time? They have total. Let's see. $74.5 million in swap volume. Woo, not bad. And what's the dividends there? 108,000 is that the play? Oh, in last 90 days. So 108,000, down 50% of what on the previous 90 days, I guess. But let's have a look at all time. Look at that, 588,000 of 74.5 million, I guess. So not bad. And of course, the yield is around 6.4%. So you saw the stable coins on liquid loans, it was what, 2%? Here, if you got time token, you're holding it in 6.4%. Obviously, it's not stable coin backed. So, you got a premium in there, 4%. Is that premium worth it? Now, a lot of people, of course, say, well, yeah, if you want to park money in there, cool. And of course, you will get as the Pulsechain rallies, it's going to inflate, right? Just like the DEXs and just like that, because it's basically doing swapping as well, right? And you're earning a revenue there. So this will probably get pretty hyper pumped as well. So that's probably, I think, why time tokens kind of been doing quite well recently. As we moved up in the market sentiment's definitely been picking up, right? But of course, when we got sold off on the old Pulsechain, it got pushed down as well. This is on the weekly chart, right? So there's the weekly candles. But if we went to daily, that's kind of the daily candles there at the moment. So it does look like it's slowly pressing to higher values at the moment. Let's see what the RSI looks on this too, and see where that's going. The old RSI. It is pretty much just almost channeling, isn't it? Up and down here, not getting too overbought, too oversold. It's currently sitting at 57, so we might see it continue a continuation here if it breaks out. And I think we're going to be in that breakout period, so quite reasonable. I think more likely than not that we'll probably see that go up there. Just based on the RSI alone, we haven't got moving averages in here. We did that yesterday, right? 50 and the 100 day, or 50 and the 200 day. And of course, in the next video, we're going to be covering short averages, maybe like the EMA cross, which is like a 9 and a was it 26? I think it is. And then there's a few variations on those time frames as well for shorter movements. But that is kind of where we are at the moment on the old Pulsechain. For time token, Trump token, which is a Trump tires, is up 6.5%. Mooney, which is part of this new ecosystem, a bit like James Maria's Atropa. Mooney Lisa there, up 6.2%. It's kind of the principal token there. It's also matched up with King too. They got the secondary web layer, which is matched up with some of these tokens. I'm not sure how many. They were definitely one of them, which was the Frank token. But yeah, not sure how many more. But it'd be interesting. I don't know if we've got the Moon King still. Sorry, Gugod still in the chat. We may be able to update us on that. Thaler, of course, rated to Mooney also. That's up 5.8% there. Pulsex up, of course, 5.5. Atropa, James Maria, 5% there. Phoenix. I'm pretty sure there's a pump tires. I think it is up 5%. And of course, we've got Missile, one of the printer tokens from OG WebChef, up 5%. Bitcoin there, meme coin, pump tires up 4.8%. Sparta, a new token, of course, a pretty clever idea. Accumulate some hex in the treasury as well as burning Sparta, and then we'll burn the hex in the treasury later on sell it to burn more Sparta when hex, I guess, goes on that run that we're expecting. Doubt token, of course, pump tires 3 up 4.4%. Jupiter up 4.3%. Been around for 7 months. SolidX, of course, we're expecting big things for SolidX. We always talk about we always talk about Firewhale. They're the two big whales on Pulsechain, and SolidX, of course, is the OG token, which is going to be burned off with the new decentralized crypto casino. And of course, that's led by X Game, right? Which we are, covering here. We got the first dedicated community in X Game. You can join the link to that, I think, in the video description. I definitely updated the other day. So if you want to join our X Game portal, which is the first dedicated community for X Game, then definitely join up. You don't want to miss out on that, dude. I'm just telling you, you want to get involved because I think it's going to be a big deal. Anything that's got a big whale backing it, come on, just do the math, do the math. And of course, they're going to have a lot of cool marketing with that too. So SolidX, they're $12.60, up 4.2%. So if you see big whales going into stuff, maybe you should follow. You do your due diligence, of course. I don't want to, you don't do anything in ignorance. But it's definitely a key pumpermental, right? But I'm excited, nevertheless, for the projects that he's doing around the decentralized casino. I think X Game could be that next viral killer app. I really do think that's got a good chance of doing that, and I'm excited about where it's going, right? We got what else we got going? UFO from PDC doing really well. Now, the one thing about UFO and PDC, right? Big community. I do consider it one of the blue chip protocols on Pulsechain. and that's up 4.2% at the moment. And they've got a really big amount of influencers of support and big community members. So it's definitely got a lot of promotional heavyweights behind UFO and PDC, and of course Prairie Banana out there does amazing commentary on that. So if you want to definitely check him out, I would do. That's kind of the first go-to there. Lots of other great people in the community too, though, but definitely comes to mind. Now, Teddy Bear Takeover, and if you're an OG Teddy with James and Maria, you'll be going boo, but actually Teddy Bear Takeover is doing pretty damn good in my view, and it's holding up pretty well. Up 4% as well, and 4.25%. And of course, this got big influences like Moon King and others behind that as well, so supporting that. Best Everything Pump Tires up 4%. And of course, FMF was it? Where did it go? It just disappeared. We got a whole repositioning in an instant. We got Bitcoin anyway, up 4%. Another Pump Tires. PMX 500, that's the one I'll talk about, up 3.8%. And this has been performing pretty well. Also, this is kind of a meme coin index, right? It is, look at that chart, still looking pretty good, right? 1 cent too. So congratulations, hit 1 cent. The all-time high has been, pretty much almost 1.1 cents, but not quite. So this is holding up pretty well. The meme coin index there on Pulsechain. We probably will talk more about that in the future, I guess, to have a little look at that. What else we got going? We've got Incentive Token obviously up there. Moon X is up 3.3%. Been around for only 4 days. ALGO there on the back of Hex is up 2.3%. So we've got little moves going on with a lot of these tokens. Not a lot of double-digit gains today, but definitely got a lot of moves going through as we're moving through to the top 50. And I think that's where I'm going to finish today, is in the top 50. We've got BBC token there from 9-inch Exchange. Finvestor, of course, the grandfather of the OG Web Chef, and of course Incognito there at number 50. And I think that's where we're going to finish today. That is where it is. So up about 2%. So not a lot of gainers over 10% today on the default view. This is the default view, of course. We've got 4 of them over 10%, and they happen to be Soil token from Sun Minimeal, bringing us the big corporate buy and burn, and of course the big 4 on-ramps to Pulsechain. It's going to, I think, a rising giant in the chain. And then we got Surf token popped out of there 10 days ago, also up 90%. So there we go. A couple of newbies as well. All right, so let's jump over to the chat. We're 52 minutes on the hour. So let's see here. Who else has jumped in the house? Valence, there's so many great projects on Pulsechain. We're so fortunate to be in the early ones. Yeah, and there are a lot more coming, right? So we've got, obviously, we've been talking about Signum, the big next Oracle. So we've already got fixed from Liquid Loans, as I said earlier. Liquid Loans being the liquidity fork with Pulse and USDL and Loan Token. And of course, they also did us that multi-sig service as well. Pulsechain something. I used to have it in my mind, but I just keep forgetting it every time. Pulsechain something. I'm going to have to find. I really needed to find out because I looked at it the other like a couple of weeks ago too, which is embarrassing. We are so fortunate to be. I feel like I'm in confession. We are so fortunate to be the early ones. Indeed, we are, Valiant. With dogs in the house there. Good morning, everybody. Let's have a great weekend. A great week. Absolutely, I agree with you on that. In fact, that makes me want to bring something up. So let's see whether I can check that out in a moment. So we do have, funny enough, the futures market for the stock market is down slightly on Moody's downgraded its investment rating of the US, but the Moody's is so manipulated, right? It's probably part of the Democrat Party. There's a lot of these investment stuff. Have you guys seen that? What's the movie with let me think. What is that called? I'm just forgetting it now. What's the movie? Oh, they're shorting the market. The Big Short. It's called The Big Short, and they're shorting the market. And they go in. These 2 young guys. They're running this. I think they had I don't know, $10-50 million, something like that. $10-50 million. And they're young guys, and they're coming in, and they're trying to get the. Oh, actually, it was the investment firm actually working, I think, for Morgan Stanley or something. They go in talking to the credit agents and say, "Why aren't you marking down these property indexes? The CDUs, I think they were." And they're like, "Oh, well, we don't have to. We're basically in bed with these guys, and if we can't do it. Everything will fall." And so it's a bit like that with the old Moody's. It's all part of the rigged game. You do not know how rigged the game is. It is rigged pretty bad. If you've been in the industry, you may know, but it's all to say. But it's these guys. It's about the brand reputation, let alone any corruption that you find, right? Which is also there. deal making and having good old dinners at restaurants and having collusion like that. Yeah, it's going to be fun. But I think we're going to have a good week ahead. Even though we've got the futures down a little bit, I think we're probably going to have not too bad a day in crypto. A lot of green today, says Diamond Hand. Indeed. Poor says AJ Rip. Poor killing it, Kryptonite. I appreciate that, AJ. Thank you very much. It's very kind words. I love the emojis too. I do. I didn't always used to be big into emojis, but then since I'm writing a lot of copy these days, got more into emojis. Alien Tech FTW says Diamond Hand. Yep, it's doing very, very well with the old Google there. Pugado, you're the man. Thanks for streaming. I appreciate that too. It's a pleasure. PDI to $1 says Brennan. In fact, let's pull that up. We've got a bit of time up our hands. I'm going to. What time is it now? Yeah, probably going to probably keep streaming for another 10 minutes or so, maybe a bit longer. We'll see. And let me just go to. Let me bring up another site that I want to talk about. So the futures are down a little bit on the Moody, and Trump's did a warning to Walmart about tariff and price raises and stuff like that. So he's trying to keep a lid on that and seems to be fairly successful on that. But look, I think we're going to get so much bullish news coming from the Trump administration around deals that the market's just going to take all that, take it and run with that. All right, so let's see here. We got PDI. PDI to $1. He said, I'm just going to bring it out because it's interesting. So yeah, PDI, it's still doing pretty well. Let's bring up the old. Old chart here. So we're sitting at almost 0.2%. So it really has rallied back. We did see that big, ETH guy that came in with 555 ETH. Ended up buying some Top Hat from Crypto Coffee's Top Hat. He bought some of that, and he also bought obviously some Richard Hart tokens, but he bought PDI, didn't he? Bought PDI, and so that was pretty interesting. And still got plenty of money left, plenty of money left to do some more stuff there. So PDI there coming off the bottom, 0.2 of a penny, and of course we had all the violent escapades back here on the 16th. Where we got sold down massive there. Now we were in the Discord, so if you haven't joined our Discord, join up. I mean, we've seen everything in our Discord just about. I mean, I don't think there's not much we haven't seen that's happened over Pulsechain's lifetime. And we were in here, and it's a good opportunity when you see these two take a gamble there and pick some up. And anyway, that's up pretty mad gains from there. I'm not sure if the calculator will work, but let's see if it does. See what the calculator says. So we're going to go up to there. No, it's working. So apparently it's up 30,000% from the bottom there. That was pretty good. So 0.2 of a penny, and of course, it is one of the biggest communities in Pulsechain, right? The old PDI Telegram. Sommi, of course, is kind of their is he official leader or unofficial leader for that? So he's covers it every hour, things like that. It's pretty good coverage. So that is we're about 0.2 of a penny. And so yeah, they're pretty active. There are several communities that are pretty active, but they're definitely one of the top ones in terms of size and activity. Yeah, pretty interesting. All right, so that is the old PDI, and no doubt USDC and USD Tether are not too far behind. So let's have a quick look at some of those while we're here. See if we can find a few more of them. Let's scroll down there. Bitcoin, $329 right now. Let's have a look at that. Let's have a look at Wrap Bitcoin. This is the big forked, of course. This is probably going to hyper run, honestly, with the Bitcoin, right? It hasn't really moved 106K, but I think it might get triggered, right? Might get triggered and then run. Is at $330 at the moment. So maybe it's just a bit of a lagging effect. And if we see, Bitcoin break that 109, maybe that's going to be the catalyst for this running. Yeah, well, let's see what happens. I mean, now our all-time high on, it's not the same environment that we had, but it got up to $2,675 on the forked Bitcoin. Not bad, eh? Not bad. And so we're $330 at the moment. Where could this go, right? Where could this go? Let's have a quick look at the RSI as well, and see what that gives. It gives a little Blues Clues. And that is, not quite at the bottom, but it's sitting at 53, so just above the middle range. So yeah, and we got an uptrend here on the RSI though. We got slightly higher highs. I mean, it's a little gift in the hand there. We got a little bit of uptrend there. So yeah, maybe this will break out to another high. Maybe it could get to 550 on a bit of a tear. We'll see. Maybe more modestly, maybe 460. So yeah, keep a lookout for that. So that is the old big fork there. Big fork tongue. All right. So what else we got going? Let's scroll down here. I just want to see whether we had any of the others. Moving along the list here. Yeah, where's Beast at the moment? So Beast is one of the OG web chef printers. It's at 24, so it hasn't managed to really recover. Bounced off the bottom a little bit into percentage terms, but still down 70% for the week. So we'll keep a lookout for the old Beast. What else is interesting? Yeah, I think we've gone through a lot of these other tokens. Yeah, I don't see the ones I was looking for, particular ones. Well, Aave at the moment is at 20 cents. So, let's have a look at the Aave token there. The forked tongue, fork token. And that is still at the bottom too, 20 cents. So, looks not quite the same as the PDI, but not too far from that. And let's see what else. I was actually looking for. Oh, we got the old, Matty Allen's a good die. Let's have a quick look at that. We have pump tire die. We have fork die. We have a good die. And it's actually come off the bottom, right? So it's it's at 20 cents almost at 20 cents. This is the daily candles, and it actually pumped actually went to 22, almost 23 cents. So good die is coming off the bottom. Probably got low volume, as my guess, but that's coming off the bottom there. So maybe people will get back into that. What else? Let's going through that. Now we've got Love.io here. Now we're going to be interviewing Anders, the founder from Love.io, and this has been performing pretty well most of the time. The chart's pretty awry here. This is versus DAI, but yeah, 5/0's 2,800 at the moment. So we'll see how this goes as well. And with the old Love.io, and they've actually got pretty good. What they got there, 1.39 million, I think, is the market cap on that at the moment. So keep a lookout for that. And we're going to interview. We've got an interview coming up Wednesday with Anders, which I think is going to be pretty amazing. Now you got to remember he's a bit of a marketing guru as well, as I understand. So we're going to hopefully find out a lot more about that. We didn't really touch it in the XUSD interview. We were just briefly at the end, but I was really quite interested to see, to break that down a bit more and dive deep, not only into obviously Love.io, which I'm being very curious, as you guys know, for a long time, because I hadn't seen a lot out there. It looked amazing. The website's amazing. They've got lots of different things they do. And I saw the price sort of, pumping up a little bit the other week. And I was like, okay, well, maybe it's got some life in it. And and so I'm really glad that we're going to be interviewing him on Wednesday. So you don't want to miss that as well. What else? We got crazy calls with the rockets. What's that one? Little spoons and Titans. Yes, says Brennan. All right, so you haven't brought up the Titan next. Should we do that? Let's do that. So that's pretty much our coverage from Pulsechain, I think. And we've probably got lots of things going to happen this week. So keep out for that. But Sun Minimeal was a big mover over the weekend, as you just saw. But let's bring up Titan Hub and see how that's looking at the moment. So the old Titan X. So obviously we've got the key catalysts for this are all the buy and burns. They're basically a big giant DAO, but they're not just a DAO. They're kind of a buy and burn. So they're actually active DAO, let's say. And we got Titan X at the moment is got a big DAO behind it. Dragon X, the buy and burns turned off as well. Hyper and Hydra buy and burns are turned off. We saw some big news around Dragon X the other day with their big partnership. They had a big stream between Eric, the founder, and Brandon, a big crossover influencer into Pulsechain and Dragon X, like Cryptographics is, like I am as well. We both do crossover coverage, and there's a lot of shared community. To be honest, there's a lot of people on both chains. It's just the way it is, and we're probably going to see a lot of that on X1 chain when Jack Levin launches X1 chain as well. We'll see quite a few crossovers. It's crypto. I mean, we're in crypto after all. That's what it is. We've got people over on Sonic Chain now and Base Chain. I mean, come on. People are everywhere. There's always opportunities on every chain, but some chains are, got a much riskier sort of profile. Rug pulls and things like that. So just take care. But hey, look, we got X, all of them pretty much down at the moment. So it's a nice little re-entry, I guess, for Titan X, because when this runs, it's going to be an incredible run. Honestly, you're really buying at the bottom, and when this thing runs, it's going to be absolutely glorious, honestly. And you just got to be, get the timing. Could be in a month's time now, could be in a week's time. But this could all just start to tear up to the upside. So well worth considering there. And of course, we had a big interview with Cryptographics, who's I think got a very impressive project with the old Taurus. And you can check that out and go check it out on the channels. It was a fantastic interview, and I think that is really got some secret sauce. So I think we're going to really look forward to that launching. And of course, the other one is Bitcoin Genie, the mad scientist Stevie D. I think these guys are pushing the tokenomics, not in the world. We're talking about world-leading tokenomics going into these projects. So Genie and Taurus are looking like leaders, and they're both trying to drive the token demand from the buy side. So it's going to be interesting to see whether they can get close to the Holy Grail. It's going to be fun to watch those. So that's a Bitcoin Genie coming up as well. All right, so that's kind of where we are. Let's have a quick look at the Titanx chart. Now, I said that the ratio of the DragonX has dropped, so it got up to like 17. It's now 13.8. But let's have a quick look at the Titanx chart before we move on. But yeah, definitely worth a good pickup here at the moment. Now we're going to look at the weekly chart, I think, because I just want to get the long-term view. And that is where we are on the weekly. We'll get rid of those first candles, and we're going to log this chart as well. Once my mouse needs a little bit of love. Get my mouse. We got the log, and yeah, we've come off the bottom in price. So obviously Ether's run right. So we're at 6 zeros 11.50. We're now at 6 zeros 19.77. So we're up, a little bit there. We have been higher. We've been at 6 zeros 2800. And then we faced some, resistance sell-off there, and down we go. But remember, all the buy and bins are turned off. Very important to remember that. And the other thing is that Jake Sharp's got this big omni-chain strategy. We haven't really seen his stuff side of it. We do see some of the other developers doing some cool stuff, but not this one. So let's quickly go to the ratio to ETH. Just like on Pulsechain, we always look at projects relative to Pulse and what are their pump catalysts to make them go higher, like to beat the Pulse. Otherwise, you might as well just hold Pulse, right? And that is the same thing for a Titanx on Ethereum, right? What is that? And also going to be true for the Omnichain, right? When Titanx is obviously on with X20, 2028 is on Base Chain or Sonic Chain or wherever other chains they go to. Pretty important. So let's go to the weekly here as well. Just give us a longer time view there, and we're going to log that. That is the log chart. We can see it's still relatively off the bottom. So the bottom was down here pretty much at 10 zeros 7100. There's a local bottom, and this is on the weekly candles. And then we had a big, nice little rally. Got pretty optimistic there. 9 zeros 1200. Ran out of steam. Remember, the buy and bin's still not turned off. They've pretty much been turned off all the way down this brutal thing, just about. So they've been turned down there, and we're now at 10 zeros 800 here. So a wonderful zone for accumulating because you're buying low, and it's got the strategy of the Omni-chain to play out, and of course the buy and bin. So and the ETH, obviously, that's the third catalyst, right? ETH on a run, right? ETH on a run, which we've seen recently pick up quite strongly. Now, I just want to go to the website and have a look at how big the V1 buy and burn is on the Titanx in particular. But remember, DragonX, Hyper, and Hydra also got the buy and burns, fullest good stuff as well. So let's go look. So the total circulating supply, 66.9 trillion Titanx, and the total supply circulating is 98 trillion. And of course, we've got that. I talked about the cryptographics Taurus project coming. Some people saying that could get over 10 trillion in there. So that could eat up, if we got 67 trillion liquid, that could eat up, to get that down to 57 trillion. And so some people are thinking that's going to be pretty, I do too. I think it's going to be pretty big deal on the old cryptographics one. So we could have another killer app, as we might say, coming here. But the buy and burn at the moment on V1 is currently 10.8 million US dollars. There are 4,452 ETH in there. That has not changed for a long time. And of course, we did have the V2. It's the fast release that ran out of money, of course. But the V1's still full chocker full there. So, like I say, it's like a big DAO, but a DAO that's going to buy and burn. We don't know how he's going to play that out. Presumably, when we get a big uptrend and we get the altcoin season, he's going to possibly tap into that in incremental levels, is the way I might see it. And of course, with the omni-chain strategy, more supply will be spread across other chains. You can sort of see the play out there. And then, of course, we may even get mining. I mean, mining is going to take a while because it's out of the money 95%. So you'd have to get quite a price appreciation. And remember, the mining rate's going down. You get lower and lower amounts every day. But that's you take that one, and then you take the DragonX buy and burn. You had the Hyper buy and burn and the Hydra buy and burn. Really the system starts to really go ape, and it's going to be interesting to see how that all plays out. When they turn these on. So kind of cool. DragonX, of course, doing a lot of new projects. I mean, a lot of these developers are doing a lot of cool stuff. Brandon from Morpheus doing a lot of cool stuff with the old Swift decks and stuff. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff there. Element 280, Ouroboros with the stablecoin. That guy's like really good at what he does with the stablecoin there too for UXDX. That's their sort of their liquidity fork. Everything's going pretty well on that front. All right, and they're already got projects like Uranus over on Base Chain, right? So that is kind of where we are on the old tight next coverage. And like I say, we're going to be covering X1 chain from Jack Levin coming up, and that's going to be the first fork of Solana, as I understand it. But it's going to have all the latest tech and bells and whistles. We're also going to see, I think it's got IGN layer as well. I think that's definitely part of it. And of course, we could see a lot of tokens from other chains going over there getting yield, including stablecoins. Jack Levin, I think, was in one of the Telegram threads talking about bringing in the stablecoins as well. So yeah, that could open up a lot of cool stuff over on the X1 chain. So yeah, we're going to see how that all plays out as well. Obviously, they have to launch the chain, so we actually got confirmation from Jack that he's actually going to launch. We didn't really notice up till like the last big interview that he did, but they're going to actually launch the chain, and then they're going to do the burn party. So everyone's got Zen, right? Zen at the moment, which is right, I think, near the bottom of the price chart. And of course, they're going to be able to burn those for credits for the auction and get themselves XN coin, the main fee coin, just like Pulse or ETH XN coin there as well. And of course, people also at the moment, the way of pre-mining, if you want to pre-mine tokens over there in the CS Sense, is to do Zen block mining. I do have a video on Zen block mining. Just type that in, Zen blocks, one word, into the search on the videos. You'll pull up a video. It's only about 10 minutes long, but you could be up and running mining Zen blocks today. Now, it has gone through the first halving, but as, of course, I think there's generally less people mining, relatively speaking, to what it used to be before the halving. So you're actually still getting pretty decent amount of blocks. Anyway, you can try it. Now, there are a couple blocks you can earn there. So watch the video. You'll see what I mean. Super blocks and other things like that. And people will be able to take those tokens and either sell them or stake them and earn XN tokens. So kind of cool. It is a multi-token system. It's like a DEX token and stuff like that. There are already third-party DEX applications. I think like XDEX, I think it's called, going to X1 chain. So it's going to be pretty fun to see all that. Now the question is, Jack Levin's got a lot of Silicon Valley friends, a lot of crypto friends. He's been going to a lot of the conferences. Obviously, he has been driving a lot of the ETH gas prices on the Ethereum. So you can decide what you think about all that, but. It's what big corporate things has he got coming out? What alliances? He got some pretty cool. He talked about the PayPal the other day, their stable coins type of connections. So let's see where that all heads. Is the originator of it as opposed to riding on the back of something that someone else has already done and just applying it to the old chain? Because I think that adds just so much more value if you can get big partnerships. And of course, let's see whether that comes into X1 as well. It's gonna be interesting for sure. All right, we're up to an hour and 12 minutes. I think we're going to wrap up there. I think we're almost up to 1:30 p.m. In Kiwi time. So very excited. Now I'm going to finish off with something I think very, very big. But before we do that, let's get into, we've got some comments that are happening in the channel. I have no idea what you guys are talking about though. Chopsticks. What else there? We got Bar Hop says, stay tuned for the new monster thread. That's true. So we've got, as you guys know, we've gone into promotions for teams. And of course, for Pulsechain, we promote Pulsechain. We promote rising stars that are coming up on Pulsechain with promotions because Pulsechain was missing one thing: a professional promotion service, and we've gone into doing that. And it's been really, really good. Honestly, it's been a win-win for everybody, and it's exciting where that's all going. We are ramping up. We've got new things coming out soon. So you definitely want to keep track of what we're doing on the Crypto Night Show. And of course, our promotional lead is MBS. Many of you would know him or have met him, seen him around. And he is writing up the monster thread, and he's got the second one coming out after the show. It will be releasing in a couple of minutes, if it hasn't already. So that is going to be out, the monster thread, and it has been very, very popular. I don't know, we probably got somewhere between 15 and 18,000 people viewed that and read it, and it is very, very good. And it is the hands down the best news update for the last week. It's got tons of alpha in there as well. And you'll probably see a lot of projects and things that you don't normally see. So we're not only lifting the big things, but also the small and the medium things are getting in there too. So it really is a very representative update for all of Pulsechain. Isn't that cool? It's kind of something I always felt that was kind of missing. Was the small guy, the medium guy, and the big guy all get covered. How about that? I think that's pretty good. And we want to make it like that. So big shout out to MBS. Been working on that pretty hard as well, and that's about to be released, the monster thread week number 2. So that's pretty exciting, and that's for, of course, the 18th of May. That's the 18th May edition. I think we had the 11th of May edition was the first week, So that's coming out just after the live stream, and we'll be reposting that. And I do encourage all of you out there, we've got a good crowd watching, I think about 150 people watching at the moment, to share that around. It really is a really big deal. So if you can share that around, that'd be fantastic. You will look out for MVS crypto there. And of course, also on my channel, I'll be reposting that as well. So thanks for that, Bahub. I appreciate that. What happened to PUSD? Well, they've still got their products ticking away there, and they're still on X, TJ, but we'll probably do a bit more coverage of that too. Let me jump on that. We've got a few funny comments in there. Partners next week, or Panthers next week. What did you say? Panthers, yeah. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy it, and we're going to play out the old banana video on the way out, and keep a lookout for the monster threads being posted, I think, just at the end of this live stream. You don't want to miss that. Week number 2. Big shout out to our promotional lead, MBS Grip. He's crushing it out there. And of course, if you guys want to get, if you're in a project team and you want to get some promotional support, then hit us up, hit myself up, or MBS. Join our Telegram group, which is the Crypto Night Show, or in Discord, and you can have a chat with us, and we can help you out with that. We do have minimum standards, of course. That's just normal part of crypto, and we have turned down projects before, so just remember that. Take care. All right, many thanks to Superman and all. Have fun, you too, Valiant. Hope you're having a good time too. Peace out, says Brenda. Peace. All right, let's play this video on the way up. Take care, everybody. Have a wonderful week ahead. And let's see if we can get some more green candles, because it's so good, pretty good so far today with Bitcoin at 106K. Pulsechain starting to get some green too. Bring it on. And of course, a big shout out to the Sun and Minimeal, and with those 4 big on ramps. And I can't wait for the corporate buy and burn, yeah, boy. All right, I think we're going to do some horns here. I don't know, I'm just getting a bit excited. I got to end the show though. This is the final one. Let's do some more. We'll do the crowd. Yeah, crowd goes wild. All right. Yeah, let's do it all. That's how we go. All right, peace out. Bye now. Enjoy yourself.
Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the... Not a mystery. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing. Each cycle is not to do with halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase 1 of the banana zone, banana number 1. The corrective zone, banana number 2 comes. Another correction, banana number 3. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020. 2021, off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats, don't fuck this up, don't lose control of your tokens, don't use leverage, don't get your wallet hacked, just sit with it, be careful, don't get FOMO, do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of correction zone. That's going to be harder, because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over, and everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this. Thank you.